Hey guys, it's the 16th day of Autism Awareness Month, and today I want to talk about girls and autism. Girls and women are largely misrepresented when it comes to autism because they oftentimes go undiagnosed completely or are misdiagnosed. They also may be diagnosed with ADHD, anxiety, depression, ODD, and the like, and while those diagnoses may be true, oftentimes they are not diagnosing the autism that is the comorbidity of those disorders. The biggest reason why girls go misdiagnosed or underdiagnosed is because they present differently as boys and we don't have much information on their profile. Girls on the spectrum have better social integration skills. Even those girls and women who have communication issues are more inclined towards sociability, emotionality, and friendships. That can be because of girls' natural nature to be nurturers, but it can also be the social implications that are pushed on girls and boys for social norms. There are different expectations. For example, special interests, which is something I'll probably touch on in another video at a later date. For boys, they are more technical and they like to compile facts and things of that nature, whereas girls lean more towards things that their peers are actually interested in, which will be like boy bands, fashion, what else? Collecting albums, CDs. Who collects albums and CDs? But you know what I mean. It's 2025. But with that being said, girls are typically overlooked for having those special interests more so than boys because they're the same interests as their friends. Girls, they feel, will typically go on and on about their interests anyway. However, no matter what the interest is, they both have a tendency to collect, systemize, and objectify those special interests. So they interact the same way with their interests, but girls are overlooked. Girls are also masters at masking, whether it's on purpose or unintentional. I personally believe this is because of the social gender norms that are pushed. Girls are taught to be more agreeable, to have friendships, to fit in, where boys typically get to be wild and free. So a lot of times girls are walking around with a massive level of unseen anxiety. So they have a dialogue that's going on in their head where they're scripting and figuring out how they're going to fit into these conversations, making sure they laugh at the correct time, making sure that they fit in, and no one knows what they know, but they don't really know. They know they're not fitting in. They know they're walking around calculating their days, and they have no understanding of why. So all these unseen and sort of seen things lead to less referrals at the doctor's office because that profile for girls has not been established. Now, there is hope. There are people who are actively researching and trying to compile information to make sure that we get a profile for young girls and women. The spectrum is vast and it's gotten even wider because we are now recognizing that there is a difference between girls, boys, men, and women. Thank you so much for stopping by and talking about autism.